I was up in a tree picking peaches when I suddenly spotted strangers invading our foraging area. Something felt wrong right away, so I quickly climbed down and told my companions to head back to the village with the news. I decided to go check things out myself first. I quietly snuck up to their motorcycles and carefully used my knife to cut through the fuel line of one bike. But just as I was about to cut the second motorcycle's fuel line, disaster struck. One of the bad guys spotted me from behind. I fought back and ran, immediately blowing my emergency whistle as I fled for my life. I could hear my tribesmen sharpening their knives nearby. They heard my signal and knew there was danger. I rushed up the cliff trying to escape, but the enemy yanked me right back down. To break free from their grip, I blew my whistle again. I heard my companions responding and knew they were grabbing their weapons and rushing toward me. Seeing things going bad, the invaders quickly jumped on their motorcycles and took off. By the time my friends arrived, those guys had gained distance and taken me with them. I was tied to one of the motorcycles, feeling every bump and filled with fear. Suddenly I heard a familiar engine sound behind us. I looked back and saw one of my companions chasing us on a motorcycle. While the enemies weren't paying attention, I quietly bit into the motorcycle's fuel line. When they realized someone was chasing them, they started panicking and speeding up. I bit through the fuel line hard, hoping to slow them down. By evening, the motorcycle suddenly stopped because it ran out of gas. I watched two enemies start arguing over the last fuel can. Taking advantage of this moment, I quietly cut through the ropes that tied me up. Once I realized I could break free, I immediately started running like crazy, but the enemies quickly got back on their motorcycle and caught me again. The next day, I was taken to a tent. The leader was a big bearded man in white clothes who ordered his men to come check me out. I didn't know what was waiting for me, but I knew I had to find a way to escape and get back to my people.